All right, you're Michael Scott.
Yes.
You're CEO of PureFlix and CEO of Pinnacle Pictures, is that right?
That is correct, yeah.
You have produced over 40 films, 40 movies, is that right?
Probably. Who knows? It could be 50 now. I'm losing track.
Why does it seem like we're seeing more faith-friendly content?
Oh, I think, we're seeing more of this. I think audiences ultimately want to see it. I think they're tired of the violence, the sex, the language, and I think they're looking for something that's going to ultimately uplift them, draw them closer to God. And that's why I think we're seeing more of this faith-based content. Only more gets produced if people actually want it, right?
Right.
And they want it, and they need it. And I think we all need it, at a certain level. And so that's why I think you're seeing more of it.
Okay. Can you talk about being acquired by Sony and how that's changed anything at all at PureFlix?
Yeah, getting acquired by Sony, I prayed long and hard about that. Is this the right thing to do? How is, they going to change things? What are they going to do? And it's actually been a wonderful partnership. And the reason why I say that is they've been able to allow us to do what we've always done best, creating great faith content, bringing great faith movies to it. They put in the resources, the money behind that. And also what people don't realize is Sony's been in the faith business for a long time, going way back to the Kendricks brothers. They did all the Kendricks films, War Room, Fireproof, Courageous, Facing the Giants. And they've also done other films like Miracles in Heaven, Heaven is for Real, all these films. So they had an incredible library of content that we could bring to the service as well. So it allowed us to offer more. It allowed us to create more and do some great things. So it's been really good.
Great. A lot of Christian movies kind of get this bad rap for the quality.
Yep.
Can you talk about how you are changing that around?
I think you go back in the day, you go back 20 years, right? And people would be like, oh, so cheesy, it's this, you can barely watch it. But, anytime you start something, it doesn't always start on the top, right? And it starts small. And there were small movies being made with very little tight budgets. Nobody really knew if there was an audience out there to watch them or anything like that. And what you saw is each year the films get better and better. And that's because the audience came out and supported them. And once the audience is there, you can create more and you can create better. And I think up until today, we're seeing incredible films go to theaters. Movies like God's Not Dead, Case for Christ released. Also the latest Jesus Revolution went out there and did some incredible business. Great films that have gone out there. And the same thing is happening on the streaming platform. We're creating better series, more series, the same with movies. And so I'm excited about where this content can go in the future. I think people, as they continue to watch our service and go to the movies, I think they're going to be impressed by what's coming in the years to come.
Right. How did you become involved with 1,000 Tomorrows?
I remember this book back in probably 2008, 2009. This was being talked about being made into a movie, and I was super excited. A good friend of mine, Kevin Downs, who did Jesus Revolution, produced that, was looking at this and back and forth, and it didn't work out at that time. But what was incredible is it came back around, and I said, gosh, this is a great story. We should absolutely get this made. And Karen's a legend, right? She's a New York Times bestseller. This is one of her best books. It's a great book, 1,000 Tomorrows. And who doesn't love rodeo? I'm a big just to watch it on TV and the bull riding and everything like that is so cool. And then you mix that in with a great love story, and then how God shows up. We're all flawed, right? And God shows up and shows us how we can have our families restored, how we can be redeemed, how we can let go of things. And I think in 1,000 Tomorrows, you get a lot of those themes. Yeah. And I think it really shows you how God can work in maybe sometimes the most impossible situations.
Right.
And sometimes we got to look at what we have today because we don't know what we have tomorrow.
Absolutely, yeah. Where do you see PureFlix in 5 years?
Oh, 5 years. You know what? I think the future's bright. I think that more people want this type of content, not only here in the U.S., but worldwide. So I'd love to see PureFlix expand outside the U.S. I want us to create more shows, even better quality, and both shows and movies. And so I think we're planning to do 18 to 20 movies and shows this year. And I think in the years to come, I'd like to see that number go up and be able to create more. And I think we're going to be able to do that because we've seen the audience come, so many people signing up. And it's so great to hear the testimonies of people. Love that movie. It was entertaining. Our whole family was riveted. Or you see the testimonies from people saying, I watched that movie. It got me in a place where I wasn't in the best place, but I saw how God worked, and that movie really touched me and turned me around. And so you see all of these variety of testimonies that are out there, and I think you never know how God can work. God, you go back in the day, Jesus told stories in parables, right? And the modern day parable today is movies and television. You know, you can bring to life an incredible story in 2 hours. You can see the characters visually live out X, Y, and Z. And if you put God in the center of that, it can be a powerful tool to really touch people's lives.
Right, absolutely. Is there anything I haven't asked you that you think our readers would like to know?
Gosh, you know what? We've talked so much about PureFlix. I think, how do they sign up to get Karen Kingsbury's 1,000 Tomorrow and other great content we have? If they can go to pureflix.com, they can sign up there, and then they download any app. They have a smart TV, an iOS, a Roku, an Apple TV, however you get your streaming thing. Download the PureFlix app and start watching. You will love it. It's not only, it'll touch your whole family, no matter what age you are. If you have kids, we have great kids content all the way up until, if you're a grandparent, we have everything that you would want. So I encourage everybody to check it out.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.